Properties of a chord in a circle. We can use these properties to solve word problems. A pipe has a cross-section with a radius being 10 centimeters. Oil flows in the pipe and the oil surface across, which we'll call AC, is 16 centimeters. How deep is the oil? To do this, we should draw a picture. AC is the surface of our oil. The center of our circle will be labeled O. We will create a radius from O, which is the center, to the outside of the circle, and the depth of the oil, which is what we're looking for, we will label BD. BD. So essentially, we are looking for the distance between B and D, or the chord and the outside of the circle. The properties tell us that when we have a chord and the radius, it will generate a 90-degree angle and two bisected segments, meaning AB is the same distance of BC. We can also create another radius. This radius will help us since it generates the triangle we need. We know the oil surface AC is 16. So AB, which is the bisected section of AC, would have to be 8, since 8 plus 8 would give me the 16. We now have 8, we have 10, and we have two sides of a right angled triangle. Therefore, we can use the Pythagorean theorem. Once we know OB from the Pythagorean theorem, we can use this to find out OD will be just OB plus BD. Remember, we are looking for BD. So in essence, we are finding the third side of this right angle triangle. We will then realize that this line OD is the radius of the circle, and if we have the distance from O to B, we can then subtract it from the radius to find the distance from B to D, which essentially is what we are looking for. We will manipulate the Pythagorean theorem so that a squared is equal to c squared minus b squared, since we already know the hypotenuse. C will be 10, so 10 squared is 100. We have determined this side because AC is bisected. AC is 16, therefore AB would have to be 8, and we will square 8 to get 64. 100 minus 64 is 49. Therefore, a squared is equal to 49. To solve for a, we will take the square root of each side. The square root of a squared is a, and the square root of 49 is 7. We now know the distance between O and B is 7. And since the radius of the circle is 10, which is shown here, we know the distance from O to D is also 10, since this line and this line are both the radius. If we already know the distance from O to B is 7, and the distance from O to D is 10, we can subtract the two to get the depth of the oil. Therefore, 10 minus 7 will give us the distance we require, which is 3. So the depth of the oil, BD, is 3 centimeters.